The Boston Celtics are 9 days away from the NBA Finals, and personally, I don't want to go that long without going live or having a watch party or talking to you guys as subscribers of Celtics Today by Chat Sports. So, do you want this channel to go live, let's say, Thursday afternoon, have a couple of drinks, talk about the Boston Celtics, have a little fun, preview the NBA Finals? Well, it's super simple. All you guys got to do to let me know, and my bosses know, is go to my Twitter, at AR Barefoot, and just comment on my pinned tweet the word BANG. And, well, we'll see if we'll go live. In case you guys haven't heard, the Boston Celtics are going to the 2024 NBA Finals. Welcome to Celtics Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Allie Barefoot, and I'll be breaking down a little bit here on Kristaps Porzingis. In the back half, while they were celebrating last night, of course, the Boston Celtics do seem very mentally prepared for the NBA Finals, and I want to talk about how Joe Mazzulla is actually handling his team heading into the big matchup. But first things first, let's talk about Tingus Pingus. I know that's on the forefront of everybody's mind because he didn't play in round 2, didn't play in round 3. Despite some optimism for him to return in game 4, we didn't see KP. Well, here's what Charania of The Athletic had to say about Kristaps Porzingis and his injury update. He said there's definitely optimism. That word is starting to get on my nerves here. Once again, there is definitely optimism. There are still some hurdles, I'm told, that he has to be clear before he can play in game 1 of the NBA Finals. Thankfully, the Boston Celtics, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, Derek White, Al Horford, they all got the job done with plenty of time in between the Eastern Conference Finals and the NBA Finals, which gives Kristaps Porzingis plenty of time to rest. But the calf is so tricky. This is what Shams was talking about, is that keep in mind, Giannis Antetokounmpo had the exact same injury. And even 4 weeks after he sustained that injury, he actually divulged to media that I was actually like 40%, 50% running at that time. So it's a little bit weary thinking, hey, everybody's calf's different, everybody's rehab is different. I mean, obviously Giannis and KP have different body types, so maybe it won't take as long. But I am starting to get a little bit skeptical that maybe that optimism is just trying to keep the media hanging around. Just trying to make sure they don't psych out the opponent thinking, oh, we got to take on the Celtics without Kristaps Porzingis. I'm going to be honest, I'm a little bit worried. Despite the Boston Celtics playing already 10.5 games without Kristaps Porzingis, obviously going 9-1 in that time frame, I am still a little bit nervous because, yes, you got through the Indiana Pacers without KP. Yes, you got through the Cleveland Cavaliers without KP and no Jared Allen. But now you could possibly be going up against Dallas Mavericks or the Minnesota Timberwolves without 7'3" Kristaps Porzingis. Makes me a little bit nervous. But Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN did say the Boston Celtics are taking conservative approach with Kristaps Porzingis. They do not want to re-aggravate anything. They have said this multiple times. They want to make sure he is fully 100%. And the good news is that as of right now making this video, it's May 28th. The Game 7, if it's needed, is June 23rd. So I hope that maybe if not Game 1, KP can at least play at some point in the NBA Finals, but the Celtics got his back, man. They celebrated with him last night when they won the Eastern Conference Finals, even though KP didn't put any minutes down. Peyton Pritchard said ahead of Game 4, he looks really good. I think he'll be ready shortly. Well, if Dr. Peyton Pritchard says it, then it must be true. Hopefully, we will get to see Kristaps Porzingis back in action here. If any updates do happen, that's why you guys should follow me on Twitter at AR Barefoot. But overall, here's my take. Boston has dominated without KP. I don't want to hear they had an easy schedule. I don't want to hear they had an easy path. I don't care. They just swept the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's domination in my book. But I do think this is the end. This is the end that you can get past without Kristaps Porzingis. The Western Conference, as we know, is a whole different ballgame. Bigger players, faster players, stronger players. It just happens. And you need KP back. But thankfully, the Boston Celtics have 9 days to figure everything out before they do want to bring in KP or possibly leave out KP for Game 1. But here's where you guys come in. This is why we have Celtics Today by Chat Sports. Go ahead and comment down below. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Do you think Kristaps Porzingis will be ready for Game 1? I'm going to go with no. The optimism is scaring me, I'm going to be honest. But we do have a week and a half left. So as of right now, I'm going to go with no. Ask me in a week, maybe be a little bit different. But nonetheless, doesn't matter if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. If the day ends in a Y, I'm playing PrizePicks. Here's why you guys should too. PrizePicks is the #1 daily fantasy sports app in America. It's also our sponsor here on Celtics Today every single game day, and this is one of my favorite times of the year. MLB's right there in that early regular season sweet spot. WNBA season has just started. NHL and NBA postseason is going on as well. There are so many sporting events and player projected stats you can choose from. Why would you not play PrizePicks right now? I actually ended up texting Miami Heat Today report by Chat Sports host Nick Roloff, hey, give me some PrizePicks. And these are his. And I also made mine the same. Don't tell him. But I have Jaden McDaniels having more than 10.5 points. Kyrie Irving having more than 1.5 3-pointers made. I know you're thinking, that's got to be a lock. Well, that's a reason why that's a goblin. It's an easier pick. It just doesn't pay as much. But if you really want to test your skills, pick a demon. That's the red version of that guy. Harder pick, but it does pay a lot more. Anthony Edwards to have more than 1 dunk. And I got Alexander Walker to have more than 1 turnover. Here are my PrizePicks. Feel free to copy mine and Nick Roloff's, or go on ahead and make your own. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use that promo code CLNS for a first-time deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. I promise it is truly that easy to watch yourself win some real money in real time. The Boston Celtics, while they did celebrate with their beer showers, they celebrated with their champagne showers last night in Indiana after they won the Eastern Conference Finals. Don't get it twisted. They're looking ahead to the NBA Finals. They know the job is not finished. And everybody keeps saying, oh, they're going back to the NBA Finals just like they did. This is the second time in 3 years they've done so. This is not the same team as when they took on the Golden State Warriors. This year feels so much different. And I understand that they had KP the entire regular season, not the postseason, but he does make that much of a difference. Drew Holiday makes that much of a difference. Derek White, all of the players have now elevated, and the fact that Joe Mazzulla has really been crafting Missoula ball to be his own in Boston, this season feels so much different. And Derek White pointed out that Joe's preparation, this is not the 9 days they've only prepared for the NBA Finals. They've been preparing for this moment the entire postseason, which, credit to Joe, thinking ahead, really initiating that Missoula ball as early as he can. I actually did find out some of the drills they've been working on in practice heading into the NBA Finals. Jake Fisher of Yahoo Sports did say in his article, Missoula sets up different exercises at each basket around the parquet floor just off the Mass Pike. Sometimes they focus on details as mundane as inbounding the ball. Other times, a box-out drill right out of high school two-a-days. And this is what they call the championship stations. I know you remember gym class. You had stations, you would work out for like a minute, then you would transition. I have a feeling Joe's stations are a little bit harder than my gym class ones, but don't tell my PE teacher that. Everybody seems to be on the Joe Mazzulla wave. Everybody seems to be on the Missoula ball type of wave. I know that the players obviously have to conduct it on the floor, but I do think Mazzulla has done a good job, and I think his elite coaching skills will be tested going up against another elite coach, whether it be Jason Kidd, which it probably will be. But I do think that Missoula ball will work out for the Boston Celtics in the meantime. We got NBA legends also hopping on Missoula ball here. Paul Pierce saying congrats, but job not finished. Let's go. Of course, he knows what it takes to win an NBA Finals. Paul Pierce obviously quoting the great Kobe Bryant, job not finished. You'll see me smiling because job's not finished. I really do feel that Mamba mentality coming in from Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum and the rest of the Celtics as well. Joe Mazzulla talking about his preparation for finals as well, saying just trying to pick little things that we see on a nightly basis that can impact winning and affect losing. We just practice them over and over and over again until they become second nature. And I'm sure it annoys the hell out of the guys, but it will pay off, I promise. It definitely really matters, especially when you do see somebody like Drew Holiday make a late game steal because he's been watching a player for 4 quarters and knowing that he drives his right hand. That stuff will pay off. And it's getting a little bit real now because Dallas Mavericks have the opportunity to also sweep the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight, which means if the Dallas Mavericks win tonight, the NBA Finals are set. And I know what you're thinking, cool, we can start early. We can't, unfortunately. The NBA already has set in place the NBA Finals dates from Game 1 to Game 7. So we do know that regardless if Dallas does sweep tonight, they are going to end up starting on June 6th, which of course is 9 days away. Then it goes to the 9th, the 12th, the 14th. So you're getting about 2 days in between here, maybe even 3 days or so. But of course, the TBD does determine who and where they will be playing those away games in Game 3, 4, and 6 if necessary. But this is the set-in-stone NBA final schedule. Doesn't matter if the Mavericks sweep tonight. They will not start until June 6th. But the beauty is we are finally in the home stretch. The Celtics are 4 games away from hanging banner 18. It feels like a fever dream, to be honest. Spam your 4s in the comment section if you cannot believe it's finally here. If you're so excited the Boston Celtics have finally made it back to the NBA Finals and have an opportunity to do what they've been talking about for many years, is to hang banner 18. Spam your 4s. And like I said, if you want us to go live on Thursday afternoon, I need to hear it from you guys on Twitter. Go on ahead and follow me at AR Barefoot. That's my handle right there. Comment on my pinned tweet. Bang! If you want us to go live, talk about the NBA Finals, and as always, your Boston Celtics.